preparation, 50 essential questions and answers. This is a comprehensive guide covering Scrum basics, role specific scenarios, agile metrics, safe framework, leadership coaching, and advanced real world challenges to help you ace your Scrum Master interview. Let's start with the Scrum basics. What is Scrum? Scrum is an agile framework for developing, delivering, and sustaining complex products. It emphasizes iterative progress, collaboration, and adaptability through rules, events, and artifacts. What are three pillars of Scrums? Transparency, inspection, and adaptation. What are the Scrum roles? Scrum Master, Product Owner, and the team. What are the Scrum artifacts? What are the Scrum artifacts? Product backlog, sprint backlog, and the increment. What are the Scrum events? Sprint planning, daily Scrum, sprint review, retrospective. What is the time box for sprint? Typically 2 to 4 weeks, depending on the team and product complexity. What is the definition of done? A shared understanding of what done means to ensure transparency and quality for each increment. What is velocity? The amount of work, usually in story points, completed by a team in a sprint used for forecasting. What is the product backlog refinement? An ongoing process where backlog items are reviewed, estimated, and prioritized for clarity and readiness. What is the main responsibility of Scrum Master? To ensure Scrum is understood and enacted by coaching the team, removing impediments, and facilitating collaboration. Let's start with Scrum Master role specific questions. How do you handle team conflicts? By facilitating open communication, understanding perspectives, and guiding the team to self resolve using Scrum values, respect, openness, and courage. How do you deal with an uncooperative product owner? Facilitate alignment sessions, clarify rules, and ensure shared goals. How do you measure Scrum Master success? Through team maturity, improved delivery predictability, high stakeholder satisfaction, and reduced impediments. How do you ensure team commitment during sprint planning? Encourage realistic estimation, ensure clarity of goals, and let the team decide what they can confidently commit to. What is your approach to coaching new Scrum teams? Start with fundamentals, build trust, encourage continuous improvement, and model agile behavior. How do you remove impediments? By identifying blockers early, collaborating with relevant parties, and empowering the team to solve what they can independently. How do you handle a team member who constantly underperforms? Use one on one coaching to understand root causes, provide feedback, and help them align with team goals. If the team keeps missing sprint goals, analyze reasons in retrospectives, adjust planning practices, refine backlog clarity, and support better estimation. How do you help the product owner manage the backlog? By facilitating refinement sessions, ensuring prioritization aligns with business goals, and improve backlog visibility. How do you promote transparency? By maintaining visible boards, clear communication, and open discussions during Scrum events. Let's start with Agile and metrics. What metrics do you track in Scrum? Velocity, sprint burn down, release burn down, cumulative flow diagram, and defect trends. How do you use burn down chart? To visualize work remaining in the sprint and forecast if the team will achieve the sprint goal. What is a cumulative flow diagram? A visual representation of work states that helps identify bottlenecks in workflow. What is your opinion on story points versus hours? Story points are better for measuring relative effort and complexity rather than absolute time. How do you improve team velocity? By focusing on reducing waste, improving collaboration, refining backlog quality, and removing dependencies. Let's start with SAFE, Scaled Agile Framework questions. What is SAFE? SAFE is a set of organization and workflow patterns that help enterprises scale lean agile practices across multiple teams. What are the SAFE labels? Essential, large solution, portfolio, and full SAFE. What is a program increment? It is called as a PI. A time box period, usually 8 to 12 weeks, where agile release train deliver incremental value through multiple iterations. What is an agile release train? A long-lived team of agile teams, typically 50 to 125 people, aligned to a shared mission delivering continuous value. What is the Scrum Master's role in SAFE? A servant leader and coach for an agile team, facilitating team events and supporting the art's effectiveness. What is a PI planning event? A 2-day planning event where all teams align on a common vision, objectives, and dependency for the upcoming PI. What is weighted shortage job first, which is called as WSJF? A prioritization model or method, you can say, used in SAFE to maximize value delivery by comparing cost of delay divided by job size. What is the inspect and adapt event? A SAFE ceremony that held at the end of each PI to review outcomes, identify systematic issues, and create improvement actions. How do Scrum Masters collaborate across multiple teams in SAFE? Through the Scrum of Scrum, where Scrum Masters coordinate dependencies and resolve cross-team impediments. Let's start with leadership and coaching. How do you build a high-performing agile team? Foster trust, ensure clarity in roles, encourage collaboration, and enable autonomy. Trust, ensure clarity in roles, encourage collaboration, and enable autonomy. What's your coaching style? Adaptive, blending, teaching, mentoring, and facilitation based on team maturity. How do you handle resistance to agile transformation? Educate stakeholders, show measurable wins, and emphasize value delivery over process enforcement. How do you motivate a disengaged team? By connecting their work to business value, celebrating small wins, and involving them in decision making. How do you encourage continuous improvement? Through effective retrospectives, experiments, and data driven insights. Let's start with advanced and scenario based questions. How do you handle external dependencies in SAFE? Track them in the program board, raise during Scrum of Scrums, and coordinate with other teams. How do you manage distributed teams? Use virtual boards, clear communication norms, regular check ins, and time zone awareness. What if the product owner changes mid of PI? Facilitate knowledge transfer, support backlog reprioritization, and keep the team stable during the transition. What is your role in managing risk? facilitate risk identification, maintain risk boards, and support resolution through ROAM, which is called Resolved, Owned, Accepted, and Mitigated. How do you handle scope changes mid of sprint? Educate stakeholders on the Scrum rules and negotiate change through backlog reprioritization in the next sprint. How do you handle technical debt? Include it in the backlog reprioritization, educate on its impact, and encourage done to include refactoring where it's needed. How do you align multiple teams working on same product? Through shared PI objectives, Scrum of Scrums, and transparent dependency management. What do you do if leadership pressure the team to deliver unrealistic deadlines? Facilitate data driven discussions, show velocity trends, and propose trade off transparently. How do you align multiple teams working on same product? Through shared PI objectives, Scrum of Scrums, and transparent dependency management. What is the difference between a Scrum Master and a release train engineer? It is called RTE. Scrum Master supports a single team or two or three teams, and RTA support the entire art, facilitating program level processes and execution. How do you adapt Scrum in a non software environment? Focus on iterative value delivery, visual workflow, and customer feedback while customizing artifacts to the domain. And here we complete the Scrum Master interview question and answer. Thank you.